Hello and welcome back. A short break it was indeed. Folks, we just came hot off the heels. That was Juice Tay putting down Neighbor. This is a matchup that went 2-1 last time, Navanta.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like even though Neighbor played better, arguably today it just was Juice Tay's run. That redemption arc is real, and they move on.
Yeah, so that's going to be Juice Tay. Now, securing third. Big shout out. Neighbor is still going to be taking $500 in the old pocket for playing some Madden across these four qualifiers. Gotta love that one regardless. But big dogs are still yet to come. Coming in from the winners bracket is NoMercyLambo representing Towson University, and Luke plays lacrosse. Again, that is Clark University out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow, well, we saw Luke plays lacrosse yesterday, and because I pondered about the last time I played lacrosse because it was so painful. But what made me painful is this: it's a winner's bracket, which means you have that extra life in hand. So if you win, you get to go to Detroit. If you lose, you have to battle it out one more time to see if you can qualify as well. So talk about stakes, you're getting that a lot of that in this one.
Exactly. And either of these players, worst case scenario, they lose this match, then they lose the match against Juice Tay from the losers finals. Still $500 in the old pocket. Of course, that has been guaranteed again for Neighbor as they exit in the fourth position. Now, looking at this one, we'll be getting teams confirmed for you guys in just a little bit. But if memory serves, or if I wrote this down correctly, Luke plays lacrosse. Favoring the Chiefs. Cannot be any surprise there.
Yeah, favoring the Chief is something we've seen a lot in this tournament, and we've kind of made a couple of jokes and barbs about it. But it really comes down to how you pilot that team. We've seen so many different versions of what Pat Mahomes and company could do. So it's not a guaranteed win, obviously, not a guaranteed cheat code. But you got to be able to, ride that horse. I mean that figuratively, of course. The best way you can to make sure you get that dub. So it'd be kind of cool to see how they would do that if they do pick the Chiefs here today.
Yeah, so it's so interesting to say too, right? We've seen so much Chiefs play that we've seen like so many variations of how this team has been played. Nobody has really gone on like the just receivers heavy, right? At the absolute least, Travis Kelce is always going to be involved within that receiving duties. Now, as well, Pacheco, we have seen Pacheco play pretty much just a bodyguard. We've seen Pacheco play the boots on the ground, heavy hitter, right on the line of scrimmage, taking this rock and running it very, very frequently. We've also seen Pacheco sent out for receiving duties, especially against zone coverage, There's mostly paying attention to players who are wide receivers or named Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's correlation or causation, but I think teams that use Pacheco as more of that boots in the ground, that infantry soldierman, tend to do fairly well, especially with the solid play here with everyone playing out of the gun and everyone going right down the middle for defensive plays. But hey, maybe I'm just, doing a non-scientific eye from the sky situation because Travis Kelce is going to be your X factor. He's elite for a reason, so is Pat Mahomes. So it really comes down to whether you find a way to win, regardless of the tools you have at your disposal.
It's obviously what Mahomes with power-ups of his own, very mobile quarterback and everything. Kelsey specifically with the double me power-up, meaning that it's a higher chance of catching it when he is single covered. This is going to consistently require personnel and resources that are limited from defenses. Anybody operating the Kansas City Chiefs has got to know this one and play that to their advantage.
We talk about the Chiefs a lot. We did see a couple Buffalo Bills. We see a couple of New York Jets. I'm almost positive knows an opponent, a team we haven't seen here before. But I got to ask you a question. Talk about what has been your favorite matchup so far as two different teams coming together. Or it could be mirror matches too, I guess.
No, I got you. Well, it's not going to be Chiefs on Chiefs. I'll tell you that much. I like you giving me the wiggle room right there, but not Chiefs on Chiefs. Just based on teams, not the actual like action on the field. Sure. I gotta say that we got that Baltimore Ravens and Buffalo Bills matchup. That one was it was at least very unique players and whatnot, and I think the utilization of the running game there within Baltimore was fantastic. That was a Bills squad that came up on top. That came up on top off the back of a fantastic defensive squad. Again, Jordan Poyer, Von Miller, and the third player's name is escaping me right now. Always playing very well in defense as linebackers and always snagging this one out of the air.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I forgot about the Baltimore Ravens did make an appearance there. I gotta say that I was gonna say the Bills about a day ago, but that Jets run has been epic. It has been something that we're taking notes of, and I'm still trying to figure out how the heck. Obviously, on paper, the weakest team we have seen here on these streams are on a run, which goes to show you sometimes having the tools isn't necessarily the most important thing, but how do you execute them? So I guess.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
So I guess I was Bills. But I'm kind of heading towards the other side of New York or Jersey.
get you. I the way I look at it is that these teams have gone forth and played like you have to prepare against the Kansas City Chiefs, right? You can assume that a lot of players are going to be playing against this, and if you have only so much like practice time, again, limited resource, right? Then you're going to be using this to kind of like figure it out against the Kansas City Chiefs. That is held indicative, of course, because we are getting the confirm here. We got another mirror matchup. I'll let you guess who it is, folks.
I'm thinking the Bengals versus the Bengals. I've been
I would
asking for
love
the
to
Bengals
see
for
it.
weeks. I'm
Well, I
just,
would love to see it as well. Lions on Lions, utilize them. Get some Jared Goff in here. No,
yeah.
it's going to be Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. We will, of course, have home field territory for one, home field territory for the other. And then if we go to a map number three, we'll be looking at a neutral venue for no home field advantage for either of these two players.
Well, we saw the cast of characters before, but it comes down to how it's going to be executed. We hadn't really seen No Mercy Lambo in a long time on stream. Let's see what's up their sleeves.
See, indeed, this is Miko Hardman Jr. taking it out. Navantas of the world rejoicing, especially now. Runs down the big man, gets it to the other side, and only for the 25. I thought he was going to spin in for a little bit more at the end. Not going to happen.
You know what it reminds me of when you're trying to find a quicker way to get home after work, but you take the long way and it takes the same amount of time, but it's less traffic, so you feel better about it. So that's what I saw there. I liked it.
I love that. Like the idea of like, man, this Google Maps doesn't know what they're talking about. Waze, a name like Waze. You think I'm gonna trust a name like Waze? No, I know better. I lived here. I live here. I'm a human being. I can adjust. Nope. Feels like it's very infrequent that I'm faster than the GPS, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've took that L plenty of times. But it does look like it's going to be a different kind of flavor. That's definitely a run we don't see too often here. Hopefully, it's a indicative of something cool, something different, something fresh.
Okay, so a little delay of game. Mercy Lambo possibly just trying to ploy a little bit more time on the defense to pick out what they want. Luke Plays is not going to accept this one and allow his opponent a little bit more time. Again, hey, sportsmanship. That's what we're all here for.
Um, I mean, you guys can be. I'm in for embarrassing my teammate. No, I'm totally kidding. I'm here for sportsmanship, sure.
I'm with it. With it. I mean, hey, only one of these team players is going to punch their ticket on this competition, on this specific game, off the back of hey, we got another delay coming on in here. You're figuring out some things. Oh, this is going to be No Mercy Lambo. Excuse me. They're picking playbooks as of right now. That is actually a fantastic question. Is there any like you're playing the Chiefs right because you want this crew on your side, this high rated offense, high rated defense on your side, led of course by Patrick Mahomes. Is there any playbook changeups that you're going to go through? Any deviations away from Andy Reid here, Navanta?
I mean, it's hard to say that because Andy Reid is kind of like whether you like his football mind or his love for burgers. It's kind of one of the top of what he does, and so it'd be small tweaks if anything. And this isn't like picking the Titans and saying, "Hey, look, I want to try something a little bit off the wall." I mean, if it works, class of the league for a reason.
Yeah, we'll see how this continues to go right here. A little bit of back and forth. Not sure if there's a connection issue or what right there. Speaking of what, we're looking at, yeah, both East Coast players. So I don't believe that server would be an issue here, like really whatsoever. I don't believe there's like a closer one to Georgia or a closer one farther north that said would be closer to Towson University or what. But we'll be getting it figured out in just a second. Getting right back into it. There you go. Big shout out to our production staff over here with Rally Cry. That is, yeah, they're awesome guys. Morok, Aster, everybody else behind the scenes helping out, making our job desk casters that much easier. This one's thrown out and a flag, two flags in the first two plays of this game.
Oh wow! Well, a nice clean game seems to be out of the offing already. Flags are abound. A lot more flags we saw in the first quarter of this one than we saw in the last few series altogether. So, hey, kind of a good sign.
Especially like, I mean, unintentional penalties, right? There was a couple encroachments there that were done to purchase a little bit of time. Like, hey, yeah, you can get up, you can split the difference between 1.5 yards down to three-quarters of a yard. So that's fine. I don't care. You're almost guaranteeing at that point. A big pick early. Johnson, number 13, lurk and cue the Jaws music because he is gonna bite.
Well, this here is interesting because there were some games we didn't see interceptions at all. You kind of wonder if that was even a function, but right in the line, right when it needed to be, it was almost unbothered, and it's going the other way.
Unbothered in his zone, vibing here for No Mercy Lambo. Got the cruise control in the Lamborghini here now for Patrick Mahomes, 16 yards outside. This is, I mean, not guaranteed points, but you're right here. Now it definitely is after Valdez Scantling is left wide open.
Well, the catch was great, but the tumble is what's going to make it on the highlight reel, your local newscast. Look at this one. Just so much space, so much time. You didn't get the full replay there, but I can tell you it was great.
It was. It was. Valdez Scantling brings this one on and in. We're going to be in the Superdome here in New Orleans as well, folks. So neutral venue here first. Obviously, away colors for No Mercy Lambo. Kickoff coming in just a little bit. Will the Navantas of the world rejoice for being shambles?
Only two options there. And it's about the neutral site and how important that is. But one of the most important things about being in the dome, no wind.
A wind, indeed, indeed. Like kickoffs, extra points have been perfect so far. Across our championship weekend, Saturday now into Sunday, we have had two-point conversion attempts. One of them hit, and that one really did go forth to decide that game. A lot of pressure put in offensively. We've also gotten a safety, right? That was open qualifier four, right?
Yeah, we didn't get a safety, which I didn't think was possible because I haven't seen a safety be a decider in such a long time in this game.
Go another pitch and run here to Isaiah Pacheco. Is this one up? 32 yards, longest pass for this offense so far for Luke plays lacrosse. Short one, Valdez Scaling just drilled down right there. IRL, these are some of the hardest hits that you're going to see coming from behind, not quite being able to see the defender as well, Navanta.
That is definitely true, but definitely the ones that have a bit more of the also momentum. If you're the one that lands those hits, that's the one that gets you hyped really quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No mercy, Lambo. You get a defensive pick and then a play like that, and then another serious application of pressure onto Patrick Mahomes, barely able to get this one out. Patty Mahomes is not pleased.
All this mirror match actions got me thinking about a question. If you were the owner of the 33rd NFL team, where would you want to set up shop?
Ooh, that is a damn good question.
You can't say your backyard. That's
That is a
what I
really
meant.
yeah, right. Like, can I
Right
expand my
here.
backyard? Oh, that was close to a pick. This is a really, I mean, I taking the Chargers out of San Diego, man, like that was brutal. But putting them back wouldn't exactly be the solution. And you
Right.
could say the same thing for the. This is a really good question. You could say the same thing for the Rams in St. Louis as well. But hey, St. Louis has a football team now, right?
They do. Calls the law, right? Caw.
Call is the law. The St. Louis Battlehawks doing battle in the UFL and a diving it pass attempt there from Kelsey, an uncharacteristic off the mark ball. But getting back to your question, man, getting back to your question, I maybe a little bit West Coast supremacy, right? Like you're only looking at like 7 teams west of Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
or yeah, I guess 7. Another I'm trying to think of the biggest city, like, east of Seattle, but before Minneapolis. There's
Uh,
really not a whole lot up there. I am one for geographically spanning the map, you know what I'm
Really?
saying?
The
Like, we don't need
Casper,
another Florida
Wyoming
team.
tugboats?
Yeah.
It'd be Salt Lake or Portland, basically, if you're doing
The
that.
Great Falls, Montana Rapids, like no shade against, Montana by any means. I was just up there casting an arm wrestling competition, actually. Great people, great place and stuff. Not exactly your prime NFL location, though. I'm
Hold
gonna think
on.
about this one. I'm gonna think
Wait,
about
if
this
you
one.
lose an arm wrestling competition, do you like instantly retire? Because I would retire out of embarrassment,
Oh,
man.
no, they're 12 matches. There were 12 winners and there were 12 losers, my friend.
That is just ridiculous.
The Blonde Bear, there was a 78-year-old arm wrestler there. It was honestly inspiring. I don't wanna get too off a topic here, but, and pulled very, very well against a 28-year-old. It was just the man's story was amazing. Guys, if you're interested, just the Blonde Bear arm wrestling on the Google.
I did not know that existed, and they got tugboat. That's crazy.
We got the boat. Got the boat.
They got the boat.
For the first time, maybe more, who knows? 4th and 5, though, coming up here for No Mercy. Lambo had a fantastic offensive plays earlier and then doesn't get this one out and turns it over on downs on the 50.
Well,
That
that
is about as bad as it gets.
yeah, to say it's unfortunate is a bit of an understatement. That's when you go from bad to worse.
Literally opening up a map of the United States of America to
Are you
answer your
kidding
question, because
me?
that
Shit.
that that that's one of the best questions I've been asked in a while. Because again, geographically expanding is what I'm all about. Again, we do not need another Florida team. We do not need another New York or New Jersey.
Or
team before you
Texas.
say so. Yeah, do not need another Texas team by any means.
Hmm.
Memphis. Hey, speaking of UFL, Memphis has got one of those.
Yeah, with the most weirdest name though. Troubles don't even exist anymore. That's besides the
Yeah,
point.
it was definitely unique. Definitely a unique play. Okay, so, here's my answer: either Boise or Salt Lake City.
Boise or Salt Lake City are two different vibes, man. I'm
They're
asking you,
very, very, very different
what
vibes.
what would you like if you were like would you pick one?
Yeah, again, geographically spanning, I'm going Idaho, and Rasheed Rice is going to the North Pole. It seems
Oh
that's a
man,
big one here for an answer when it was very, very required.
I'm not sure what's more important, the touchdown or the clothesline in the back of the head afterwards. Ref, where you at? That was awful.
Here's the real answer to the question. Next,
Okay.
33rd NFL team, uh, either Mexico City or Vancouver.
You know what's funny?
Get international with it.
In the Madden games for a long time, you can like use Mexico City to like leverage your team to pay up for your stadium in the franchise mode. I'll move my team to
Okay.
Mexico City.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I feel like I've heard that before, but it's been quite a
Yeah,
while. But no, I get international with it, right? I mean,
right.
MLB, NHL, both involving in other countries.
I'm with it because you know Mexico City is so high above elevation. It totally would like make any team that comes to town weak. It's like 6,000 feet, man. It's huge. It's even
Yeah, you
higher than
get that.
Denver.
Well, they get that Denver effect, right? I think Minneapolis is pretty high up there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, no, they're not. They're right on sea level.
Oh,
I'm a fool.
okay, maybe not.
I'm a
I
fool.
thought they were high. Never mind. Oh,
Oh, Pacheco
Pacheco in
high on the
unison.
offense. Yeah, exactly, dude. Nicely done. Nicely done. The big bomb runs this one to the right side. I got to say, both of these players just don't seem prepared for the Isaiah Pacheco's of the running offense, man. Like,
Hey,
the running offense is just getting it done right now.
seems to me that Pacheco was a cheat code, as we were saying before the game even started. So why not utilize him?
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
I'm not feeling that one. Salt Lake City or Boise. Probably Boise.
Yeah, I'd rather move the Cardinals first for having a new team out there.
The Albuquerque Cardinals.
I
This
like it.
doesn't flow. Doesn't flow as much.
Yeah.
New Mexico Cardinals. I don't know.
Yep.
Nah. Montreal, Ottawa, Mexico City.
They have their own league up there.
Oh, they do. Hey, CFL, obviously very, very different, right? Much
Right.
larger field, different, really crucial
Look
different
out.
rules. There's Johnson though. Johnson showing up for picks on both sides of this. Nicely done.
Well, that's what happens. You have a mirror match, right? You just got that threat on both ends. Look at this one. It wasn't great, but it looked like he was an intended receiver the way it was just so clean, so clinical. But that guy says, I'm going, guess what? The other way.
I'm going. You can meet me there. No mercy, Lambo. Two picks, same player. User lurk both times. Again, No Mercy Lambo needs the Jaws music if he's gonna be punching the ticket and going on into Detroit, Michigan.
Well, if my answer would have been Portland personally, but that's just me.
I do like Portland. I was looking at that one as well. Obviously, a much larger city, in its own right.
Look out.
I was really considering being like really BM with it and be like, we should finally give a team to Atlanta. We should finally give a team
They deserve a
to
team.
Indianapolis.
Oh, it was very close to not being good. I
It was
thought
very
I hit the
close.
pole. Yeah, Atlanta hasn't had a team in years.
Columbus?
Oh,
Nah,
it's the
nah,
Cincinnati
nah.
Bengals and the
And
Browns. Why would
Pittsburgh right there, yeah. I mean,
you?
Pittsburgh, Cleveland,
Yeah,
Natty, it's like literally all right there. Columbus is like dead in the middle. Who would they even pull? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
who,
exactly.
who does pull Columbus pull for? Do you stay within the state and pull for the Browns and kind of like hark back to the championships past? Do you go a little bit southwest to Cincinnati, go for Joe Shiesty, Joe Cool down there? You know?
You pick a random team in Ohio at that point. The Youngstown Youngins or something.
Oh,
Toledo. Look at that's funny.
Checo once again receiving duties, gets past one, does not get past the second. Perhaps a juke to the left side. Again, eye in the sky. Easy to always say that one.
Yeah, you pretty much mortgaged 1 yard and lost four for it, but you gotta love anyone that decides to use the user generated jukes because of how risky they can be of being stripped from the ball.
Mm, Speaking of, that was almost coming back to it. 6 and 13 for Luke plays lacrosse is Patrick Mahomes, which isn't great, but of those 6 passes, he is averaging about 25 yards per.
Look at that fantastic bomb one more time. Thank you so much, production, for that. And having both feet in there, wow. The resolve.
Just right on the like right on the line as well. Play clock gonna getting started along with game. A heavily loaded left side as of right now, and this is just gonna be the screen out to Rice. Rice just leisurely Sunday walk all the way inside, not even touched, barely even looked at for another 6 on the board.
Hate to sound like the show tune from Chicago, but they had it coming, right? There was no one there to stop it down. But hey, you realize you have an opportunity. It's up to you to go through it. And that's exactly what they did. And now we have a closer game than we ever had before.
Yes, we did. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yeah, and sometimes you just have to trust them when they tell you, "Hey, we're heavily loading this left side. The ball might be going over here," right?
Hmm. What a score heavy game. It was only the first quarter, by the way, 21-14.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen whole games had that kind of score line heading to the fourth. So
We have seen 28 points between Luke plays lacrosse, Juice Tay earlier. Juice Tay's Luke plays game two was 21. First for Juice Tay, neighbor 21. It has been a while since we've seen 35 in the first game. No, the first quarter,
defense,
excuse me.
defense, secondary, fine. Well, uh,
Defense secondary.
but I mean, you're absolutely right. This is the first game. It's the best of three. If anything, that would be the one that said defense wins games, right? Because you're not seeing it here.
This is true. Ooh, Mikael Hardman Jr. going to be able to stay inside. Get this one, 4th and 7. No Mercy Lambo has just tossed so many fewer passes, but hey, that's because they don't need to, right? Two of these
Right.
points have basically come off the back of picks. The pick coming very like so close to the end zone, might as well have just fallen inside.
Yeah, when you have teams that are scoring like this so rapidly, you have to go with the flow a bit and have a bit more reckless choices in your offensive attack. But then you also have the cushion of more time in the game. It's only the second quarter of four, so why not try to see what works, what sticks, and double down on the ones that do.
All about applying pressure this time, Devonta. And if you're No Mercy Lambo, like this is wiggle room time. You have time to go forth and kind of figure this out, put the ball in various parts of the field, and just see how these defensive plays are coming for Luke plays across, especially how they react to your own audibles. Sending across. Yep, there you go.
Yeah. Patty Mahomes back at it, 4th and 9 and going for it. Indicative of this whole tournament, my friend.
Ooh, Edwards gonna get the user lurk again right here. Nicely done. Nicely done. Luke plays lacrosse. Coming out on top of this one.
Well, look at this pass right here. I think one more time on the replay. There's a lot of people that would say 4th and 9 is definitely grounds for a punt, and for reasons like that, catch and says, "Thank you very much."
Yeah, gotta agree with you, Navanta. Gotta agree. We want to see a bunch of offense, and when we say defense optional, this is exactly what we're talking about. Pacheco off to the races, gets around three, and right back to the middle of the field. We got a tie ball game.
I've never seen that before in a while where someone goes, "I'm going to run into some coverage." How Pacheco got the ball and be able to conserve their boost and then cut back to make sure there was no threat at the end. That's how it's done. And just like that, after thinking that No Mercy Lambo had this one in the bag, we're tied once more.
Defense optional. They can come out after halftime or not. It doesn't really seem to matter on this one, Navanta.
Right.
So you could just throw the biggest bombs to players named Pacheco, out as Scantling, Rasheed Rice, even, and some Kelsey action.
Kelsey, remember that guy? Kind of semi-quiet compared to
See,
other Chiefs games, but still there.
like we say that jokingly, but Travis Kelsey has not been involved on really either of these Kansas City Chiefs teams so far. It has been the Pacheco show so far. 86 yards, 85 yards, excuse me, on 6 rushes and a couple of touches here for No Mercy Lambo.
Well, we are trying to dissect that before we went live with this game. It seems like if you do have that more of the Pacheco play action idea, that you tend to have a bit more fruit on that trace of success. So
hmm
I'm not saying
hmm
you should bench Kelsey by all means or manually swap him out, but you don't seem to be as essential as you would think.
Yeah, but after this like theme has been established. Now you get a guy who has an actual power up, like the double meek power up here within Madden 24, involved in the passing plays. Get a couple plays that, dare I say, he's the preferred primary receiver, but check downs have been utilized fantastic so far. Pacheco right up the middle. He's got one player to beat, Cook, and gets absolutely fried right there.
Ooh,
First and 10 plus a lot for Pacheco.
breaking ankles and killing dreams. Cut back once too many, I guess. Got hit by the fifth or sixth option, but still, that's how it's done. Finding a hole, going right through it.
Speaking of yet again, oh, Pacheco actually shoves off the defender, number 95, Jones. Gets shuffled off right there and discarded.
It sounds like I have someone who had their spinach this week because that guy was like twice his size.
Ooh, this one actually bounces off what looked like the top of the player's foot that bounced up and made it look a little bit dangerous. No Mercy Lambo, 2 picks and then giving up a pick of your own for a tie ball game. Luke plays has answered in kind. Now he got 57 seconds left this quarter. Is plenty of time, as we've seen, for Lambo to get something going. Not with a fat sack like that, though.
Well, let me ask you a question. We're talking about the different kind of flavors of Kansas City. We're seeing almost two different flavors coming together, but they're almost complementary. What's your thoughts about that?
I'm sorry. Say the first part again. I
Well,
was reading.
we were talking about the different kind of ways you can play with a Kansas City Chiefs, but I do feel like we're getting like two different kinds of
Oh.
Chiefs that we haven't seen before, but they are playing together in very two different, but at the same time because they're tied two very
Hmm.
similar ways. Thoughts about the way both No Mercy Lambo
I,
and Luke PlaysLax are playing.
I don't know why I could have sworn you were asking me about food and Kansas City barbecue again. I just have it on the mind, people. I just have it
Wow,
on the
wow.
mind. Okay,
Let's
but
fly out
no,
there, man. What's up?
this is exactly what you were talking about, though. Pacheco for No Mercy Lambo. It's double folded. First, he's getting a whole lot done. Big bomb, Valdez Scantling, and there is the major difference. The passing game for Luke plays lacrosse. He's just able to find these pockets and thread that needle so much better. And No Mercy Lambo, like they haven't really done it as much, right? A lot of this has been like on misdirections of Isaiah Pacheco coming out of the backfield and not actually taking the rock, but that's what they're assuming a lot because he's been taking so many rushes for such crazy positive yardage. Turning him into a receiver has gotten some crazy things done, but the big bomb plays, the big flashy stuff has been Luke plays all day long.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's very similar run game, very similar with the aggression and winning the X button battles if you are a PS2 player or PS5 player. But ultimately, it is the creativity from Luke plays trying different things. I like it. It works out for them. Oh, that wasn't complete.
Okay.
Works out for them so far. That's why they're the lead.
Was like hit him straight in the back of the head on that one. Like
We
wake him up a little bit. Hey, turn faster. Mercy Lambo was enjoying a solid little cushiony lead a little while ago. That was 21-7 just a little while ago, just a quarter ago, right? 35 points first quarter. Bam! Mahomes goes down again as Reed comes into the big stop.
Yeah, I couldn't go anywhere. You get from both ends. You couldn't escape. You couldn't drop back anymore. Had nowhere to go.
Darius Tony gets past one and on a dangerous play does get out to the first down marker. 6 seconds means a single decent little shot to the outside to stop this clock, or maybe inside call a timeout and then a field goal afterwards. I don't see this being a Hail Mary play, not from the 37.
I would say that either, but stranger things have happened here. You got the deficit, you have momentum in the other way. Why not do something to take the other team out the game?
I can definitely dig the idea of get it done right now, tie this one up, erase any sort of advantage they had. But this is also make it or break it territory for No Mercy Lambo. This is going to be the last play now, as it is going to be Hail Mary time. Cross yourself and say the prayers up and not down, as defenders are covering this one completely. 21-28 is where we'll be starting our second half.
Well, not for lack of trying there. Had the time to do it, had the strength to do it, got in the vicinity, got in the downtown districts, but just could not bring it down. It's unfortunate, but I like the fact you're able to roll the dice if needed.
Yeah, not against it at all. It's just like if you throw the Hail Mary, obviously they have to return it for like 90 yards or something like that, and that's just gonna be tough. what resulted in a couple of plays with quarterbacks possibly running down cornerbacks with intercepted balls, though, and I always do love to see that. Like, I always love to see, like, how offensive players, like, operate once there is a turnover, like, actively within the play, and there is gonna be that wow, just running behind him, streamlining, where 22 gets mad about that one and throws him down in the end of the play.
You want to see? I always just FF at that point. You know what I'm saying? But I am not strong or tough at this.
Perseverance here from Navanta, hate to see it, dude.
Yeah, just first don't succeed, just give up. That's what I do.
If at first you do not succeed, lie down.
just lie down.
Shifting things. Checo a two-step outside of Patrick Mahomes right now as Mecole Hartman Jr. is sent out a little bit farther. This is also baiting a little bit and pulling this indicator of the zone defense. Edwards is kind of just like crisscrossing this side of the field, thrown away. No more time wasted for No Mercy Lambo.
Well, this is interesting because I know we kind of in Madden go a little bit too heavy on the run and gun QB, but that was a perfect chance for Mahomes to get some yards on that one
Yeah.
and just end up throwing it away.
I mean, no advantage first two plays. I have to agree with you. Now with this opening up a little bit as well, Valdez Scantling takes the rock, but could have very easily given some blocking duties for a Patrick Mahomes who could have came rocketing up from the backside. Just catch the ball, jump on the ground, first down, no harm, no foul.
Oof. Well, no harm, no foul. That looks like a lot of harm. Got trucked
A
there. Poor Patty Mahomes.
lot of harm, a lot of arm. See how Patrick Mahomes is able to sling this rock afterwards, being able to get it out when pressure does come. But I mean, Luke Plays has just been coming with the blitz and the offensive pressure now all day and still backing up on the
Oh.
35 right now.
Well, I feel partially
Ooh.
responsible talking about because I was like, you know what? You could have moved around some more, but don't move all the way back. Third and 35. That's NFL blitz numbers.
You're going the wrong way, right? Like hold up the sign like Forrest Gump. Like, no, stop, other way.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes not gonna happen right there. Kelsey weaving his way with no help through like 10 yards of extra. No Mercy Lambo comes off another bad situation. 4th and 16 here. The away colors.
Decision time.
Edwards lurking across the middle of the field. There's a bomb down to Scantling. That's going to be a little bit farther inside and another turnover on downs. Luke plays across, is now getting a fantastic position to start this drive.
Had the hands gone up, had the hands brought it down. When we talking about how much of a genius that play was to really have a third and 35 convert to a touchdown. But maybe it's only a fairy tale.
Yeah, Valdez Scantling with another step in front. I mean, just putting a little bit less mustard on that hot dog, or if you're tugboat, no mustard on the hot dog whatsoever, just ketchup, chili sometimes. I'll even take a little bit of sliced onions.
Whoa, 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 whoa. So ketchup, no chili, no mustard, sliced onions,
Chili sometimes.
chili
You're
sometimes.
quoting me here. You got to get
Uh,
it right.
but I'm saying that's not even like Chicago style. So like you're like making nobody happy. Like
Hey, I'm eating for one person.
who's that? Oh,
It's
you
FBI tugboat. There
right.
you go. There you go.
Fair
So what?
enough.
What? Chicago chili dog the way to go?
I'm just a ketchup and relish guy myself, but I have to defend my ketchup a
Relish.
lot of places. So
Relish.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
relish is great.
I will also say I am a little bit of a snob when it comes to ketchup. I'm pretty much just gonna go with the main, the
The
main
main. What does that mean? The
two
main
main two companies. Like we're pretty much going Heinz, right?
or
Like the McDonald's ketchup obviously is great. Like they're like the ketchup they make, like the packets.
yeah. Once you leave the country, there's like a thing called tomato sauce. That's pretty dope too. I
Oh,
recommend
I
that.
got it. So is it not just loaded with ketchup and salt, or not loaded with sugar and salt
It's
like our ketchup?
it's a lot less sugar, but
Okay, okay, gotcha.
but
Not against it.
yeah, it's like the LaCroix of ketchup. It's a lot less sugar.
It was a tomato picked on the vine about a mile away from a sugarcane plant.
Right.
A mild hint of sugar.
Right.
Not against that, honestly, man. Not against that. Like lowering the sugar intake. Well, that's a tasty one for Pacheco as he takes a well placed and well timed catch. Luke plays the cross, moving the chains. Still 4 receptions for 135 yards. What?
I'm not sure what's better, the reception or that segue, but, let me I would say I didn't even like, hot dogs until I started going to baseball games because you
Oh,
have
yeah.
dollar dog night. You're like, "Well, a burger is $15, but a hot dog is, like, 6. Let me get 3 of those." You know?
I feel like, hot dogs, Cracker Jacks, various, definitely boiled peanuts or salted peanuts, depending on where you're at in the country. These are baseball time foods. I can't tell you the last time. No, sorry, for Super Bowl, obviously. Outside of the Super Bowl, I couldn't tell the last time I had a hot dog that wasn't at a baseball field.
Oh, wow. Super Bowl, flex, love it.
We were grilling out, right? I was not grilling
Mm.
out. I put my rear into a lazy boy, and I let people who are better than me at cooking do it.
Oh, so it's a cooking holiday where you're from. You just go, "Hey, who's cooking on the grill today?" Showing up?
Yeah, I
Nice.
just bring meat and sodas,
Oh, you're that guy.
sodas.
Touchdown Chiefs. That there was a nice slanted run there from Pacheco. Again, going back to what worked for a team. Why not?
Yeah, Luke plays just utilized this a little bit less. That was mostly No Mercy Lambo that was making Isaiah Pacheco the MVP of the offense on their squad. Luke plays definitely dispersing the ball around like a lot more here, honestly. This is the kind of thing that Luke plays. Anybody playing, especially a mirror matchup, is going to go forth and take advantage from. Miko Hartman says no go. I just don't want to get tackled this play. Maybe next play. Okay.
All kind of a blink of an eye situation. Talk about must score and drives. It's
Mm-hmm.
so early in the fourth though. I mean, a lot of time to get possession back, but just for the sake of being in the
Mm-hmm.
game, I was like, how is it going to be caught if it's behind him? But yeah, NoMercyLambo needs something that hit pay dirt and now.
Edwards has been lurking, and mostly the user controlled defensive player for Luke plays. Cannot be surprised when he got up and almost interrupted that one. 9 on 24 for Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that's a stat that you could say IRL very frequently.
That is definitely true. Both players here have never lost a series. This is the winners bracket, so nobody really wants to have their first loss right now, so late on stream. But as it is right now, if the score holds, Luke plays LAX will have the game in hand. His best of three.
Must be a winner and must be a loser for every competition. Of course, this is a best of three, so nobody going to be drilled out after this one. Nobody eliminated. Both players also a guaranteed $500 at least. Loser of this, the best news is that they get to face again another component. The bad news is Tay.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about at nauseum about Tuesday's renaissance after switching teams over to New York.
Renaissance. That's the new
Renaissance.
one.
I won't say reinvigoration, but I
Oh,
didn't want to mess up the syllables.
doesn't get out to the outside. Instead, pushes there when the inside of the field was so much more open. You could have got a slide going like literally anywhere else. Okay, 4th and 1.
Yeah, it was close enough. Maybe they thought they're going to be the first down, try to go for the chains, and got denied. It happens.
Maybe this is a situation where they're thinking short pass anyway, so why not have it done on 4th and 1? Well, that is not anybody catching this one, and we got another turnover on downs.
That is the longest short pass I've ever seen, Tugboat.
It definitely was. That was not exactly what I was thinking it was going to do. And good job. You stumped me, No Mercy Lambo.
Yeah, 4th and 1 is always so deceptive, especially in a game like this. You're like, well, this is what they should do, but then there's always that like, yeah, man, more daylight, more space.
It's the Marshawn Lynch question, right? Everybody in the entire planet who's watching this game anticipates you giving the ball to beast mode. Man is named that for a reason, right?
Mm,
Misdirection. The element of surprise.
I like it. Surprise, mother trucker! Look at this one. Oh,
Ooh.
after with the oh no, that's
Oh,
unfortunate.
runs in number 52. 52 puts it. Humphrey's like, hey, what's going on here? I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. Runs into him 3rd and inches now.
Look at this run here. Could have been a first down run onto itself. Just got stopped by its own teammate.
Now drilled down again for a little bit of a loss right here. Timeout's now coming towards the end of this game.
Timeouts. One of the things we kind of forget about in the first half of the game that runs on an accelerated clock, but definitely useful as a field goal attempt here. It's inbound.
This is 17 points. That's equal to 3 scores, folks.
Not sure if anyone wants to FF here because they're on stream as Championship Sunday, but it looks pretty much difficult for Nonosi Lambo to come back so late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, a touchdown, onside kick recovery, touchdown, onside kick recovery, and then getting up for three. This is, even within Madden, that is a rough ask, a
That's only
Herculean
six
task.
things. You're fine. Yeah. It's less than
And two
10
onside
things.
kicks. It's fine.
Yeah.
Bomb's necessary, and Luke plays knows it. Flag coming in. This is gonna be for pass interference right there.
Interesting.
Huh.
Uh, I'm interested because yes, it was pass interference, but it looks like the refereeing has been so lax over the weekend. I think it would be called, but
Yeah,
it's the right
just
one.
really, really surprising, honestly. Yeah, the correct call, I believe that was also like intentionally done as well because that was a step and a half or so in front of your corner right there, and that was going to be 7 on the board if you did not come forth interact this. Here's a question for you: how do you feel about the pass interference rules in the pro league?
It's so nebulous that it's almost like new fans are kind of confused themselves, and it almost feels like watching Deal or No Deal, where you're like, "Well, was it? Let's look at the tape," and that shouldn't be the case. We should be able to watch a game and say what it is and what it isn't.
Yep.
But I understand safety is always important, right?
Like safety important, yes. Cannot agree more here, but there needs to be more definitive.
Agreed.
Like, if you're gonna have it be as oppressive as a potential first down, no matter where they are on the field, then it has to be like a lot more definitive. It can't be something that's ambiguous, like you said. Hardman Jr. gets inside. That's to be the first of two or first of three, excuse me, that is going to be required from this team.
Interesting that the nearest defender was like what 5, 6 yards away. That's something you want to happen. I understand having the tremendous lead, but we've seen leads evaporate pretty quickly in this game.
Inside kick attempt coming on in here. Butker's got the positioning. That's going to be a solid bit. Picks this up and now gets outside. This game is over. Wait,
It's
nah. Okay, I take that back. I take
It's
that back. We have a
over.
2 minute
2 minutes in
warning.
the fourth.
Oh,
Wow.
he's only got two timeouts. Yeah. So yeah, I can't get that one done unless this is like, I mean, even a pick. But I can't imagine that Luke plays is going to be throwing this ball, given that that's really the only way the New Mercy could win.
Yeah, but at the same time, here's a chance to really stunt on your opponent, though. I mean, you can't discount that factor.
Hey, style never dies. We're gonna know it here. Valdez Scantling getting around, getting down to the bottom, and I do believe that'll probably, yeah, another fresh set of downs. Even if they're playing, if they play this one out, then this one will be methodically, right? And this one will be over.
Yeah, methodical, deliberate, whatever you want to call it. Why not do nothing totally off the pale if you have the lead and the time in your favor? But you and I both know it's not nearly as splashy. So
Pacheco yet again. Here comes the timeout. This will be Pacheco at least one more time. Burn off about 40 seconds. Gets to a first down. This game's officially over with actually no chance left, right?
I don't know. I feel like I want to say that. I think if it was an IRL game, absolutely. But DLCs, cheat codes, it happens.
Mr. Reed tries to get inside, only gets about 4 on this one. Be another attempt coming in just a little bit. Conservative ball carrier settings decided on right there. Still going to be going out of the. I mean, if you're 12 yards average on a gun play, hey, why not go back to it? You need one.
Just one is all you need, and we see what happens when turnovers on downs happen from 4th and 1. It's not pretty.
On this play clock, delve down a little bit. They could accelerate it on. This might be a little bit of a statement made from Luke plays to No Mercy, like, hey, we could be done with this one.
To run the clock quite literally here. Delay a game.
That's gonna be a
A
timeout in
timeout.
the very last
Timeout.
second. Yeah, again, this is Luke plays trying to make a statement like, hey, when could be going on into game number 2 right now.
Wow. Oh, interesting. Not sure they'll come to bite him, but hey,
That's gonna be a turnover on downs. Okay, excuse me. Dream is still alive here for No Mercy Lambo.
no, it's not. Not in this
Okay,
game. It's still game 2 and game 3, but it's not alive.
it's 87 yards. 87 yards, 60 seconds. No timeouts though. That's really gonna be big deciding factor here. Is a whole lot gets decided. Throws
Whoop.
this one out to the outside. That's going to be Valdez Scantling actually down inside. He opted to hit the ground quickly. That's 10 seconds, 12 seconds or so. They do not have.
Am I cast a curse in the comeback? Am I? I could be.
So,
I might be.
again,
I am caster cursing.
wow. Okay. Yeah, guys, still, okay. 10-point difference. Got to score, get the onside kick recovery here. So, still very, very tough plays, but a timeout called the second here for Luke Plays.
Absolutely ridiculous. As soon as I started packing up my things quite virtually, it was like, you know what? They're a caster, man. We're back in this one.
The player is really helping to construct this comeback right now. If it does hit, man, Mercy Lambo back in the gun. He's a little bit up and out as Scantling gets this over his defender. Arms were up, but that was not enough to block this one. Now an extra point coming in and will be immediately followed, of course, by that onside kick. Extra point is good. 3 point differential between No Mercy Lambo and Luke Plays Lacrosse.
Oh man, this is getting curiouser and curiouser. Can you believe the comeback of No Mercy Lambo's able to manufacture this one?
That's going to be the flag. Touching. That one will now be over.
Oh man, I just set it up. I cast a curse at that one too. How did I do it both ways?
That's Luke Plays actually. Is he actually going to go for it?
Looks like it
No,
is.
no, no. That's the Neil. Yeah, he's got 10 and 1 right next to him. Now this game is over. Patrick Mahomes with a single rush attempt for -1 yards.
Wow, how about that? We all knew the scoring prowess of Luke plays lacrosse has just been that good. High scoring games when they play them, and they also know what to do in defense. I think No Mercy Lambert was the biggest challenge they had so far, but still wins this one by a score of 3.
I think the biggest statement made here in the second half is by No Mercy Lambo, and with the hey, if you leave time on this clock, we will go forth and we will take advantage of it. Statement is going to have to be followed up though in game number two. A game number two that No Mercy Lambo now needs to take down. They are on match point. Lose this, you'll be going down to see Juice Tay.
I gotta be honest with you. I mean, there's anyone that can do it. It's definitely both of these teams. I mean, they're very good. They've never lost a series, and that's how you done for a reason. I'm sure they both see adversity on the gridiron. Now it comes down to doubling down and execute.
Speaking of like adversity and stuff, right? Okay, No Mercy Lambo has dropped, yeah, did drop a single game. That was against Noah up next in the previous round. Taking a look at Luke Plays, yeah, Luke Plays has not dropped a map. It was 2-0 against Laka Mo Jr., a 2-0 against Juice Tay. So if you're Juice Tay, you're really, really hoping that it's going to be Luke Plays going on in and winning this one, and you get to play against a No Mercy Lambo squad that you have not faced up to this point.
And well, having half of the work already done, it's very apparent that it may be a rematch of those two sides, and that'd be something I would want to see. But let's break this down once more time. You had No Mercy Lambo starting out pretty strong. I think they were the first one to score, and I felt like they were the ones that were going to be dictating the pace, and the pace really was theirs at the end of it. We still were playing the pace, No Mercy Lambo was, but ultimately points matter, not pace. And that's why you walked away with a 3 point victory there for LAX.
Taking on over to Maryland, a little Baltimore, Maryland action. They're playing where the Ravens do. Love it,
Wow.
love it. Yeah, 35 points in the first quarter last time. No Mercy Lambo putting up 21. Luke Plays with 14 right there. I got to agree with you. The writing was on the wall a little bit. It wasn't done by any means, of course, but writing was on the wall just a little bit. Luke Plays comes back. Ooh, excuse me, comes back in every way, shape, and form to bring this one down 38-35.
Well, here's the idea though. You saw your opponent, you beat them, you bested them. It really was kind of nerve wracking towards the end of it. Did you show your hand? Do you show them everything you've already done? Or is there something else? Is there like a stage 2 or stage 3 of tricks up your sleeve?
You need the ribbons out the sleeve. You need the rabbit out the hat. You need the double-sided coin, right? Two heads right there for them to call, or something right here. Because if you dumped it all, if you left it all in the field, as they say within game number one, this is going to be a very rough game number two. Because I don't think that either of these two teams could come forth with like, oh, well, I'm just going to copy paste my game plan from game one and then do the same thing in game number two and expect the same results. I do not think that is the game plan for either of these two teams in what was in the first matchup a very high scoring.
This is why you're the brains of the operation. This is the Rally Cry Collegiate Series presented by the Army National Guard. We got to say thank you so much for sponsoring this one. Soldiers in the Army National Guard show up for the community, state, and country when needed the most. They're civilians and soldiers. Guard service is part-time. Soldiers in the Guard can work full-time, go to school, and fulfill their training at a minimum of 1 week in a month with job-specific training. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Yeah, so these are fine folks, first responders. There are issues here at home, and most of them, the vast majority of Army National Guard's members go forth. They'll have at least part-time jobs, if not full-time jobs, and go forth further their higher education, your state. There's national tuition assistance available as well if you're interested. ArmyNationalGuard.com, folks. Getting this game number 2 started, Luke Play is going to be receiving first.
Luke plays with a game in hand. The idea is where they try to do something of become the king of the mountain, slow things down, really run the clock, just really force the psychological damage of having that game advantage, or do you try to go for the quick win and just put this knock your opponent out as quick as possible?
Okay, I'm going to say No Mercy Lambo is happy with a big fat run to begin with Cook, providing the secondary duties single rush for 47 yards. Gotta love it.
Yeah, what a run there. Take another look at this one. Wow, clean as a whistle.
Not as good as it gets. Second rush, not quite as good as the first. 47 on the first, 1 on the second. Establishing this running game is what No Mercy Lambo is doing. That is a statement with an exclamation point at the end, which I guess makes it an exclamation, not a statement.
You're absolutely right. Shout out to language arts, y'all.
The synonyms not ringing true for me right there. Sorry, folks. All Russian yards all day here for No Mercy Lambeau. Now looking at like a little bit of pass action. Edwards pulled back, and that's gonna be enough. No, it's not. Excuse me. I thought he got it right into the hands.
Well, we talk about what it means to make a statement early. That would have been one, and it was all drawn up, just wasn't executed the way they wanted to. Do it again.
4th and 8. No mercy. Lambo doesn't know the meaning of field goals. That's gonna be a pick by Watson in the end zone as well. Wait, what?
Up there,
He
definitely
was dropped
was.
down into the end zone. Okay. All
No, he
right.
was dropped down on the 1 yard line. Did you not see that, bro?
I guess not. I guess not. 7 points is a lot worse than 2 because they are about as close to a safety as possible.
Yeah, I think they broke the algorithm with that one. But hey, that's besides the point. First and 10 is first and 10. Let's do it.
Rushing here would just not be ideal. This is the time that you go for a nice gun play, just something to give yourself a little bit more breathing room. This is as close as it gets.
It's kind of scary, kind of nerve wracking, kind of nerve inducing, to say the least. But yeah, one of the few times what I would recommend the gun as well, even though we've seen it pretty much 99% of the time.
Lay a game. Accepting this one. Hey, why not? Take your time. What are they gonna do? Take half the distance back to the goal? Okay, so I got to go another 3 inches back. That is okay. This is acceptable. Your proposal is acceptable in the
I
movie.
mean, I'm not a good got it, I don't got it. I'm out.
Men
What
in
is it?
Black. Men in Black.
Really? Which one?
You can have my gun, me prize my cold dead finger. The very first one, when like the farmer
Oh,
guy comes out and the alien crashes in.
right, right.
Our
I'm sorry,
proposal
because Men in
is
Black is literally
acceptable.
my favorite movie of all time. So I got nerd checked. I feel bad about it.
Love it, dude. Men in Black, fantastic movie. Will Smith in his prime. Talk about his Scantling in his prime. Had to jump for this one, so no yards after the catch. But that's exactly the breathing room that Luke plays across needs to start this one off with a bang.
Oh man, talk about Men in Black. All that
You're
cool
so
characters and stuff. Well, I'm sorry. It was excellent, like that catch was, and this one too.
love it. It says Josh Brolin in the last couple of movies, right?
He was in the third. No, not the
Oh,
second
that's
and
right.
fourth.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, man just hosted SNL
Oh yeah.
for the third time too. Yeah, yeah. I watched a little bit of. I don't really watch SNL that much anymore, but I do when someone I like on
I-
hosting.
I'm surprised you do because you don't go to sleep. I figured it'd be too early for you.
No, it's too early for me. It's too early for me on a Saturday night.
Right.
Early as well as big bomb plays here from Luke plays the cross. That's the second of this drive. Now ending up on the 8 yard line. Checo is lined up to his left, only a single receiver. Believe that's Valdez Scantling. Yeah, number 11 here to his right. Pacheco gets nowheres, absolutely nowheres. As Luke plays lacrosse, has put this ball through the air, whereas No Mercy Lambo has put it on the ground.
Yeah, Pacheco got tripped up. Unfortunately, didn't get too much out of the gates, but still to be said about the way this fortune that's changed so quickly in the first is a lot to say about Luke plays.
Checo way out. Nobody, only Kelsey on the line. Nobody back with Mahomes. Lonely job indeed. Gets caught up over the own defender. Rasheed Rice tackled inside as the receiving plays for Luke Plays Lacrosse reigns supreme yet again.
Yeah, I'm so glad that injuries aren't on because I'm pretty sure Pat Mahomes would have ripped an elbow out of his socket,
Yeah,
having to go
right.
across town the way he did on the other foot. But hey, look, a touchdown's a touchdown. Luke plays, draws first blood.
Yes, they do. Speaking of first blood, those 35 of them. That is the points wise in the first quarter of the first matchup between these two teams. Now only seven. Much slower pace, a slower pace that was dictated off of a Wilson interception against No Mercy Lambo on the 1 yard line. Luke plays busts off with a fat one to get out and a lot more breathing room, a lot more yardage ahead, and then just drove down the field, passes almost exclusively.
Yeah, yeah, that's also important, but not as important as knowing what your favorite movie is. There, Tugboat. What is it?
Favorite movie? That's such a tough question, man.
No, it isn't.
Like the greatest movie overall, like the greatest movie that pulls themes and genres from
Nope.
all different
Favorite
kinds is
favorite movie.
Ghost.
Ghost,
Ghost
like with Patrick Swayze.
and Demi Moore, Whoopi Goldberg.
I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming at
It
all.
is the most romantic scene of modern television of all time, with the clay behind. It is a very adult scene that where they show absolutely no nudity or no like anything else that would warrant like an R rating or anything else like that. But everybody understands what is going on, right?
You're not wrong, but I just would not have. I would not have. Okay, what?
Hey, I'm a
What
guy who
about?
surprises, just like Valdez Scantling if he'd caught that one because he was a couple steps backwards. But yes, Ghost, best overall movie. Period. If we're talking like comedies and stuff like this, I'm a product of my generation. I
Okay,
love Superbad. What can I say?
but those are the movies are 25 years apart. This is why I'm so confused.
It's
Like
fair.
your
It's
your
fair.
drama movies are from the 80s. And you're like, oh yeah, this one came out 2000. Was great.
1991, please,
Okay. It felt
for
very
Ghost.
80s. It felt very 80s. I'm sorry.
Actually, as soon as I said that, Ghost movie.
3 3 yard reception. Kind of a short pass there, but it
Ah,
was done with authority.
90, not 91. My bad. I'm
Uh,
out here claiming this is my favorite movie of all time. I don't even know when it came out.
hey, I know a line for Men in Black. We're even, Stevens. It's fine.
I knew A line from Men in Black. Pacheco takes a nice rock reception all the way up. That's gonna be Patty Mahomes here for No Mercy Lambo, improving to dead even, 3-3 on passes accomplished and passes attempted, and that's gonna be Chanel getting involved for the first time really on either of these, and in huge effect, a 9 yard sack here against No Mercy.
Not sure what Pat Mahomes was doing. Kind of ran up
Oh
to him
my
and said, "Hey, do
god.
me a favor, don't sack me." And well,
Well, it didn't sack him. That's another one though, and the way that this popped up and kind of relied on the ball just hitting the ground, right? On nobody from Luke plays getting involved with that one. You even saw somebody jump up and put their hands like way up in the air. You just had to put them down by your knees. No interception though. Can't say that here though, as this is pretty evenly dispersed, and they had a step. They had 2 steps on Travis Kelsey. I'd be surprised. You cannot say that frequently.
yeah, passes like that are always bold. Take a look at this one another time. Pass like this is always bold, but knowing how much coverage has been tight, I would not have done a play like that. Thanks so much for the replay there in the booth, and it's kind of
Pick
risky. Oh,
easy.
there you go.
Watch this happen as soon as they came out. They're going to want that one back. 21 coming down with a big one as Luke plays across the winner of game number 1, who came through finishing quarter 1 from behind. 7 point differential right there. Let's take a look at this pickoff again. You can watch this forecasted like tomorrow's weather.
Yeah, you see the coverage on defense. I was saying the play before was kind of risky, and that's exactly the reason why your patterns are becoming predictable. There are bodies there. It was only a matter of time.
Ooh, that's a wide open situation for Rice. Gets the defender involved. That's going to be a second one there.
Whoa!
Great job kind of running in tandem there, Navanta. What's up?
Do you not see the slap at the back of the helmet? Yo, ref, what's going on over there? It's a
Nope.
madhouse.
They're only calling random pass interference calls that we didn't even see on the side. They're not calling stuff like that.
Safety of the game, I guess. Sure.
I'm out called yet again. Luke plays, doesn't get up here, and does not get the 7. This is a player that's shown themselves completely confident with still taking the 3 points and pushing this one to a little bit of time left in the second, and timeout usage becoming the name of the game. Now, big bomb over there. The only bad thing about this is that this is a touchdown with lots of time left. 2.5 minutes, in fact, for No Mercy Lambo to come back. Usually, we've seen these players kind of utilize as much green, as much yardage ahead of them to try and burn this time off to Avanta. This might be something that comes back and bites them.
You're absolutely right, and it might as well or may as well do that. But the opposite fact is that Luke Plays has the one game in hand. I think the strategy here is to score early and often to force a forfeit, which is a psychological strategy outside of the game of itself of Madden, but it has worked before in the past, especially in this tournament.
Red lives really on the line here for No Mercy Lambo. Of course, this is second game of two. Kelsey almost gets up there. Every yard feels important for No Mercy Lambo right now.
Yeah, you can see that first attempt was trying to go for the strip rather than tackle. Again, conceded 3 more yards, but Kelsey is an absolute beast. It shows it time and time again.
There you go. The second one as the 2 minute warning does come in. We'll see how No Mercy Lambo is able to get this 2 minute offense going and just humming and thrumming along, or if this will be another dead in the water play.
Seeing both sides of that on the run, caught.
What? Patrick Mahomes is like on the ground throwing with his right foot. How did that even come out?
Well, if he didn't rip his shoulder before or elbow before, wouldn't happen now.
Steps back, long ball gets under it and inside. No Mercy Lambo comes back, leaving about a minute and a half on this clock.
Well, when it comes to look at this pass one more time, it was going a long time, hands up, down. And that's what you're talking about being yourself locked in, despite the fact you have a deficit. Just like that, no mercy Lambos in the game.
But that's gonna be a fantastic answer here. This is exactly the score deficit that we saw exiting the first quarter. Now less than 2 minutes in the second, and of course this was advantage No Mercy Lambo last time. So a lot less touchdowns on the board right now. Why does this feel like they could even come forth and get like a couple bombs and spend all of like 20, 30 seconds doing this, and then No Mercy gets the ball back?
Yeah, yeah. Talk about the feeling of making the objective clock feel more subjective. I think both of these players have that like time bending ability, and it's kind of cool to see how it's executed.
Time bending abilities could probably utilize some things better for the environment, for the planet than Madden, but see how this goes and if that continues to give them advantage. Pacheco weaves his way around a couple right there. Time bending abilities. What's the best way you utilize yours?
Well, because I always gotta be 2 places at once. If I can't teleport, I definitely
Ah.
stop time to get there and then say, "Hey, I made it."
I would never be late again.
Yep.
That seems like an even bigger feat than the ability to stop time.
Yeah, but that's even actually a more, like, selfish one besides playing Madden. I wanna make sure I'm not late to places.
Oh, Pacheco gets this busted wide open. Williams goes for it and tries to hit this ball out along the way. And given that they kind of slowed themselves down for the offensive strip play, did not get to Luke plays lacrosse and did not stop this one down. Perhaps at the end of the day, this is a better idea because there's no real difference between 2 minutes and I believe those 21 seconds that No Mercy Lambo got this ball back and a minute and 12, given that they do have a timeout.
To be honest with you, that's gonna be an answer we're gonna only find out the end of this one, but Luke plays being able to respond in kind to go back to the 2-score advantage says a lot about what they have planned here in the back half of this game.
Mercy Lambo playing from behind. Pressure creates diamonds. We'll see if they come out with something that shines here at the end of this because a two-score deficit going into the second half where both of these players have shown that they are great at maintaining clock, eating it up when they need to, and utilizing every second when they don't. Tony gets the toes inside. First down again, and a clock stopped.
Yeah, I'm not liking that one. Again, going back to those pressure passes. He got caught now, but the way it's been going, they may end up be causing problems later on.
This one a little bit in front of Pacheco, but a missed catch is going to stop this clock yet again. And Mercy Lambo getting a few seconds to kind of determine what exactly it is that he wants to do.
Not sure why it was rushed. Maybe a bit too heavy on the power situation, but the had time if you're Mahomes and time to catch it. The connection or misconnection is going to be a head scratcher.
Speaking of, Valdez-Scantling doesn't know the meaning of misconnections, and pretty perfect on both sides of this. Luke plays and No Mercy. Valdez-Scantling being the defining factor thus so far. Kind of a similar situation that we saw in the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah, yes, we get to learn about your opponent, much like I learned about Tugboat's hot dog preferences, favorite movie, and where he would have his for football franchise. But as this series goes on, yeah, you really can't rely on trick plays as much. So it comes down to really outskilling your opponent.
Skill positions right now just getting shut down. There's no real answer. Pacheco across the middle after Edwards kind of gave this one up. We see no mercy, or excuse me, we see Luke plays mostly utilizing Edwards across the middle. And so this is actually such a smart play, right? So he pulls Edwards off him a little bit just to give Pacheco that one. But given this is not just a first down, but a throw inside the middle, that keeps this clock running until No Mercy loses the last time out. Basically, they're saying, like, hey, I'll give you a 9 yards out with no first down capabilities. Did Miko?
Uh,
Okay, Miko Hardman Jr. catches this somehow.
I thought it was an interception, but I guess I was mistaken. But yeah, yeah, caught right for the goal.
So again, folks, now with third and goal, this is either an incomplete pass in the first 4 or 5 seconds, or it's going to be a single rush play right up the middle. Either makes it or doesn't, because there is no timeouts left for No Mercy.
Unfortunately, the timeout game is really been overused on the No Mercy Lambo side, but definitely needed to make sure they still have a chance to score.
I do feel like all three of those timeouts utilized to even get them to the position right now, right?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, you want to be able to be as close as you can when you have that break time, but I wonder if that kind of management's going to show its head in the fourth.
Well, I wonder. Yes, I wonder. Not gonna happen. Clock running, and you will not get another seven. No mercy, Lambo. To the second quarter we go. 21 for the side of Luke plays lacrosse. 7. No mercy, Lambo.
Wow. Well, it looks like pretty much a half of a game is ahead of Luke plays, and that next round, that ticket to Detroit. Let's see if they know how to focus. And Omer Shalambo, you got to do something now and quick because that lower bracket, it's great, but Juice Tay's on a tear down there.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So once again, folks, if Luke plays lacrosse does go down and face them, this will be the first time that they go forth and play. But Juice Tay, as you'll remember, was dropped down here by Luke. Did I say that backwards? No Mercy Lambo loses and drops down. That'll be a fresh match. Last time Luke plays lacrosse and Juice Tay did battle on the virtual Madden field. This was a 2-0 win against Juice Tay.
Yep. And I kind of lit the fire behind them to have that redemption arc. So that'd be a great story. Here's another great story of
Oh
Aldez Scanlon
man.
heading on there with no one around. And there is Pater, baby.
Marquise Valdez Scantling showing up once again here for Luke plays lacrosse. Blown coverage after it was mandated short. We have the uh we have the offensive playbook, of course, for Luke plays lacrosse, but this is a little bit of on the line alteration. Perfectly timed kick and put this in the corner and just give a little bit of wiggle room. No, not actually not. Gonna be right on the end zone. Miko Hardman Jr. decides no way.
Yeah, it's actually a good play here. Much to my chagrin. Why not? Time to reset.
Yeah, time to reset. If you're No Mercy, are you coming out trying to just completely change up the game plan? Because I feel like that's really what's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so too. We're seeing two different kinds of plays, and that is the long bombs on the wings, where you're that run around and then do a medium pass right in front of you, and that's the only thing that's been working for them. If Luke plays finds a way to cut those off, that almost like a tourniquet situation, it's pretty much curtains for them.
Valdez Scantling, and a player called Valdez Scantling is going to be the offensive powerhouse on this drive so far. Both of those going up, 4 receptions, half of them happen on this one, and 75 of those yards.
We always say time is of the essence. Well, time can be a burden if you're no Mercy Lambo. I haven't seen much creativity in plays in about a half of a quarter. I do think what's working is diminishing, and a lot of things are not working now. So hit that mercy button.
Whoa, Kelsey with a diving play right there is 27 and 38. Gonna be happy that this ain't IRL. They've been like meeting in the middle like an action movie, right? And like conking
Yeah.
their heads like Dung! And then both falling like away from Kelsey, not even touching him while he's on the ground.
Straight Cirque du Soleil action. I loved it.
Again, guys, they have a new show. I think it's called Ka.
Yeah, that's been around for about for 10, 15 years, man.
Ka has?
Yeah, MGM
Oh,
Grand.
well, sorry. I believe it's like a new show that they are like it's been like a pretty similar show they've had for years. They've just changed up like the show itself, like what they actually do.
Oh, new acts. Yeah, yeah, I gotcha.
Yes, a new act. Sorry, that's how I should
I,
that's
I,
how I should phrase that one.
I'm kind
I
of a
mean,
Shrek
it's been
connoisseur.
it's one of those like Blue Man Group, right? Awesome stuff to see once, but they don't really change it up that much.
Fair enough. My favorite one's the original Cirque du Soleil, Mystère, over there at
Mm,
Treasure Island. I think Kyle was the one I walked out of, if I could be honest with you.
really? Walked
Yeah.
out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Did not like it. Gotcha. I've not seen it myself, but hey, not a fantastic.
Oh.
Whoa!
It looked like I got caught, it got propped up, and then slammed down at the same time, but I guess it counts as a reception.
Spinning like a top right there. Pacheco's gonna have to ask NASA for a liftoff like that next time. In international airspace almost. But Mahomes rolling out to the outside, no mercy, looking for a lot, broken up right there. 4th and 5 coming in. This feels like a do or die type play.
It
And
is
I'm not just
full
talking about like 5 yards either, not just a first down.
full momentum bar filled for Luke plays. That play was critical for them to make sure they didn't score. And they didn't score, they did.
Ooh, barely gets this one out of turnover on downs here, and Luke plays across, gonna get fantastic field position. Well, sorry, not field position, but gonna get a turnover on downs and their own opportunity to do stuff.
Oof, will that be the critical driver to talk about? I mean, 5 yards to glory could have been done, especially the way these yards have been being racked up. This could have happened there.
I'm just looking for end zone every single time there for No Mercy Lambo. You're behind. I'm not against it here, but now a lot of wiggle room again. Purchase. Luke plays lacrosse has got enough yardage now to kind of frill their feathers. And really, this should be after that, after like the bigger pass to kind of give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. This should just be handoffs, right? Like, yeah, like every single one of these is 35 seconds or so burned off a clock. You shouldn't do anything else except that.
I'm sorry, you said feathers, and I was like, is that true? Like, are they like actual sentient birds playing the tournament? That's pretty rad.
Well, we'll find out in about a month or so when we get to when we get to Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gets this one kind of off balance, but Rice is going to take it down. That's juke number one, juke number two, less effective than the first.
Is this going to be? Yes, this is going to be a
Yeah.
concession there for No Mercy. Lambo gets the dub. Sorry, for No Mercy Lambo, Luke plays gets the dub. Two straight sets. That second game was domination. We said it before there, tugboat,
Yes.
about having the game in hand and how you can really apply all the pressure. It's exactly what happened. Scoring early and often, got the win.
So we bring it all the way back on here. We are getting confirmed from our go-to production staff, Friggy, Ast, Rack, everybody over there. Really, really, really appreciate that one. But good news for No Mercy Lambo, of course, is they're going to have another opportunity against Juice Tay here in the lower bracket. Guys, we're coming into our like it feels weird to say, right, Navanta? We've been doing this for like a month and a half or something like this, all coming down to determine your guys' two players that'll be facing off at the NFL draft April 24th through the 28th. We are in our last match. We're coming up here in just a second. It'll be Juice Tay. It'll be Lambo or No Mercy Lambo, excuse me. After No Mercy Lambo, unfortunately, not really able to find anything in that second game right there, guys. Navant, anything else for the good people before we go to a short break? Get this
This is,
last match set up.
this is why we love Madden so much, and we love what it means to these organizations and colleges because of competition quite like this. And thank you so much for watching it over the past couple of weeks. We got one more for today, and it's going to be a banger matchup. Stick around after this.